Let's play ICAI motto.
येष सुप्तेषु जागृति येष सुप्तेषु जागृति कामं 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 कामपुरुषो पुरुषो निर्विमाणः निर्विमाणः तदेव शुक्रं तद्ब्रह्मा तद्ब्रह्मा तदेवामृतमुच्यते तस्मिन् लोकः शतः सर्वे तदूनात्यपि कश्चन एतद्द्वैता 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 एतद्द्वैता.
Yes, I can start.
Kale Saab is coordinating. Kale Saab, please start the session.
Yeah, good afternoon, friends. Welcome back on this virtual platform. It's my pleasure here today that we are having two great personalities with us. One is G.Sekar G, who is a CCM ICAI, and we also have with us CA Manish Gadia sir, who is a chairman of WIRC. On behalf of all of us, I would like to welcome both of them. Welcome to you, sir, to both of you on this afternoon on this virtual mode. To start with this, before we start, I would like to request CA Sanket Bagadia ji to formally introduce our today's speaker, and then we'll have opening remarks from our CA Manish Gadia sir, and then we will go ahead with our webinar. Over to you, Sanket ji.
Thank you so much, Kale Saab. A very good evening, respected dignitaries. On behalf of a program organized by WIRC and hosted by Pimpri-Chinchwad branch and Nagpur branch, it's a real pleasure for me to introduce a wonderful personality, Honorable Central Council member CA G.Sekar sir. Friends, a man who had just told me who's going to speak on a very relevant topic of MDP guidelines. Sir told me three important words to remember before I introduce sir. I feel because these three words are going to form the base of the entire session. Sir told that there are only three important words to understand: perseverance, patience, and tolerance. These three words are very essential for all types of relations, and that's the way this MDP is going to go into this. Sir has got a very vast and wide knowledge. It's a real privilege for having CA G.Sekar sir for this very important session. Sir is a Central Council member since 2013 to 2022, serving his third term. He is a member of Consultative Advisory Group CAG of International Accounting Education Standards Board of International Federation of Accountants from 17 to 19. Sir is a board member of Airports Authority of India 1920. He is an ex-officio member of National Financial Reporting Authority for 1922. He is a member for NC Committee to revise Company Auditors Report Order CARO 2016 in 1920. Currently, sir is the chairman of Auditing and Assurance Standards Board. Much relevant, most important. I had the pleasure of listening to him in this. He is the chairman of India's Implementation Committee, and he is the vice chairman of Export Advisory Committee. He has been onto various committees since the start, and he has been really exceptional in whatever he's taking the task as. Sir is the member of many committees of ICAI for 21-22. The major among being Accounting Standards Board, Board of Studies Academic, Corporate Laws and Advisory and Corporate Governance Committee, Ethical Standards Board, Coordination Committee with Sister Industries, Internal Audit Standards Board, Committee on MSM and Startup, Sustainability Reporting Standards Board. I feel this is the most important committee when it comes to the international conference, which is going to be scheduled in the month of January on 21 and 22. He is a great motivator for chartered accountants in practice and in employment. and CA students through his effective and convincing communication style. Sir is the founder partner of G.Sekar Associates and in practice is chartered accountant since 1986. Sir is the founder and faculty for direct taxation in Shri Guru Kripa Institute of Management, an institution providing education for all levels and all subjects of the chartered accountancy course. Sir is a commerce graduate, a gold medalist, a rank holder from Virudhunagar Hindu Nagar Senthil Kumara Nadar College, Virudhunagar Madurai Kamaraj University. Friends, sir is a recipient of special award from the Income Tax Department in 2011 during their 150 years of income tax in India celebrations for his contribution and service to the Income Tax Department. He is a man of many values on that. He's a well-known speaker in the Vajhikati Career Guidance Program for Commerce Curriculum conducted by the Daimler magazine and has addressed more than 1 lakh students in the past 5 years in Chennai, Coimbatore, Tirupur, Salem, Madurai and Puducherry. He's a writer of articles of professional interest in journals like Taxman, Financial Express, Current Tax Reporter, Business Line, etc. Sir is a regular speaker. I really don't know how many thousands of lectures he must have given in various sessions, seminars, programs conducted by ICAI, Chambers of Commerce, Income Tax, CNAG, NADT, Tamil Nadu State Judiciary Academy, etc. Friends, he is the author of many professional books for finance and legal professionals, corporate taxpayers, banks, officials of Income Tax Department. I will name a few of them. I've got a list of more than 10 books. Practical Guide on TDS and TCS, Personal Income Tax, Professional Guide to CARO, Professional Guide to ICDS, Professional Guide to Tax Audit, Handbook for the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code 2016. A man with so many of things. It's really something that everybody would really wish to be. Yeah, मुझे भी G.Sekar जैसा बनना है. So for a person to become like G.Sekar, you are required to put on much efforts. It's really a privilege for me, sir, to introduce you and welcome you to this forum. Most welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, CA Sanket sir, for giving a very wonderful introduction. Friends, before we go ahead with our faculty today, I would like to request our WRC chairman, CA Manish Gadia, to share his thought on this moment.
Thank you, Kale sir. So G.Sekar sir, CCM, and I should say a father or a researcher on MDP. Whatever we are seeing today, it's all his effort, what he has put in for this. And we were seeing, and our dream of our Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he said on 1st July 2017 that he want a big four firm from India, not from foreign big four. On that line, Institute has worked, and under the leadership of G.Sekar sir, we have come out with the MDP guidelines where the multidisciplinary firm can become personal professionals come together and have a common platform to have a good consultancy practice. That is what the idea is, so that under one roof we can provide all the services. So there may be some challenges, there may be some practical issues. That what we can discuss apart from the guidelines. But this is a new baby. That what we have to understand, and accordingly we have to take the call and go ahead. So I will not take much time because we all want to hear Sekar sir eagerly on this topic. So thank you very much. Over to you, Sekar sir.
Thank you, CA Manish sir, for your wonderful thoughts you shared with us. We now request CA Sekar sir to go ahead with his presentation. Over to you, sir.
Okay. To see the presentation.
Yes, sir.
We can see.
Yes, sir. It's available. It's visible.
Okay. Chairman of the WRC, Mr. Manish Karia ji, Chairman of the Nagpur branch, Chinchwada branch, all the chartered accountants who are eagerly sitting here. Last almost 1 week, one side ICAI result, another side chartered accountants amendment bill. Today, the glad news is the Chartered Accountant Amendment Bill has been sent to the Standing Committee of the Parliament, which is the request of the ICAI, because they want to make certain changes in the present functioning of the disciplinary committee. There is not much major change. They want the presiding officer shall be the non-chartered accountant. For that, ICAI is not acceptable. So we request the government better. You send to the Standing Committee, we present our case to the Standing Committee of the Parliament. After that, let the Parliament decide on the basis of the merits. Because we are not an association or an organization like any other professional accountants registered outside India. See, whether it is CPA or ACCA, all the institutions in abroad are formed in their country like an association or organization under their Society Registration Act. I don't know, we are talking about today IFAC, International Federation of Accountants. Because International Federation of Accountants only define our standards on auditing, our ethical standards, etc. But if you originally go through the roots, where is IFAC? Everyone will tell, no, IFAC headquarters is Newark. Yes, IFAC headquarters is Newark. But it is an organization registered under Society Registration Act in Switzerland. So if you go to the roots, then one will know where the root starts. But ICAI root is much stronger. It is coming under the Act of Parliament. Its regulations are vetted by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs and notified in the Gazette of India. And also every amended regulation is presented in the House of Parliament for the members' note, Parliament members' note. There is a big change in history which has taken place on 8th July by notifying the Form 18, amendment to the Form 18, subsequently issue of guidelines for the formation of MDP, Multi-Disciplinary Partnership Firm. All this history started not now. If you practically ask me in the relay race, I played as a last runner. The original history started in 2006 by having certain amendments in Chartered Accountants Act, Professional Ethics, and subsequently in 2008, certain amendments in Chartered Accountant Regulations, and one more amendment which has taken place in 2012 by Chartered Accountants Amendment Act 2011. The last amendment in regulation which has taken place, what is recently on 8th July 2021. So the real process of opening up of the chartered accountancy profession to have an association with the members of other professionals started way back, almost 15 years back. I can tell really what happened in 2020, February 2020, when the government notified a new CARO. That point of time, our immediate past president, Mr. Atul, was there. I was the WSB chairman, Auditing Assurance Standard Board chairman. The ministry official told one of the vision of the government and expectation of the government, these professionals can give all the services which is necessary for the society through their firm instead of the society depending upon various services outside. That time the Ministry of Corporate Affairs said, why not you analyze the existing provisions and any support is required to open this MDP. So immediately the president of the institute said, we can form a committee of group of chartered accountants of council member. There was a 6-member group formed under my convenership. From your region, Mr. Chandrasekhar Chitleji was present. From Eastern region, the present Vice President, Mr. Debashish Mitra was there. From the Central region, Mr. Satish Gupta ji is there. From the Northern region, Rajesh Sharma is there. From government nominee, Mr. Sunil Kanoria was there. So all these 6 people sat and analyzed almost 7 acts connected with its regulation, rules, bylaws. Chartered Accountants Act, Cost and Work Accountants Act, Company Secretaries Act, Architect Act, Actuaries Act, Advocates Act, University Grant Commission Act. So all these acts we sat and its regulations or guidelines or bylaws under this, including the Charter of Engineers of 1935. All these things we analyzed and we compiled a report how to make a final opening for this multidisciplinary partnership firm and presented our report to the council. The council on its wisdom discussed each and every words of the recommendation. If you practically ask me, the discussion continued at least in 4 council meetings practically. And almost council has invested 12 hours on this issue. Today, what I am going to discuss with you in 60 to 75 minutes, council discussed almost 12 hours on how it is really beneficial to the members. All these things we discussed, then we recommended to the government for these MDP firms. Immediately, happily, government welcomed, made a public notification for public comments on December 10th, 2020 for public comments. 45 days notice has been given for public. We received only 2 comments. Only 2 comments. And both the comments are from the same institution. One is from Institute of Cost and Work Accounts of India. Another comment is from the President of Institute of Cost and Work Accounts of India in his personal capacity. Same comments has come. Ministry has forwarded those comments to us to clarify. We clarified those comments. Then Ministry has accepted our views, given clearance. Then the whole drafted regulation went to the Ministry of Law and Justice. Ministry of Law and Justice finalized the regulation, finalized the form, and notified on 8th of July 2021. This is the small history behind this. The whole guideline is called Guidelines for Formation of Multidisciplinary Partnership Firm. What is the difference between normal firm and multidisciplinary partnership firm? Normal chartered accountants firm, only the chartered accountant holding certificate of practice will be partners. In a multidisciplinary partnership firm, not only chartered accountant, other than chartered accountant, the permitted professionals, members of the professional institution can be the partner. That's what we are going to discuss, the importance of the topics today. These guidelines came into effect force from 8/7/21. The date is decided by the government, which is notified in the official gazette. The whole guideline, all of this guideline, act means Chartered Accountants Act. Regulation means Chartered Accountant Regulation. Multidisciplinary partnership means the multidisciplinary partnership firm formed under Chartered Accountant Regulation 53B, read with Regulation 190 of the Chartered Accountant Regulation. 190 is the normal regulation. Both we have to take care of. 53B is explicitly for multidisciplinary partnership firm. I want to tell the members, I will share this PowerPoint presentation with the chairman for distribution of the viewers. But I am requesting every member, please go to the website of ICAI, a freely downloadable, I'm repeating, a freely downloadable complete guidelines and FAQs on MDP firm is available in our website. Less than 100 pages. For any more clarification or any more doubts, you can go through it. 99% I can guarantee all your doubts got clarified if you go through it. Why I am telling everything we discuss, it will be registered in our RAM memory. Suddenly, subsequently, you want to know the complete knowledge detail regarding multidisciplinary partnership is available in our website. So you can download it and keep it for your future requirements. The whole objective of this guideline is prescribe the chartered accountants how to form a partnership with the members of other professional bodies under regulation 53B of the regulations. Dear members, I would like to share this slide a little later. I told you the history started in 2006. What happened in 2006? In the month of August 2006, Chartered Accountants Amendment Act came. In that Amendment Act, the first schedule to the Chartered Accountants Amendment Act, first schedule to the Chartered Accountants Act has been amended. In its part 1, 3 clauses got amended. There are 3 important clauses there. What a practicing chartered accountant shall do and shall not do. What happened till 2006? Very, very important. Till 2006, August 2006, a chartered accountant can share his fees. A practicing chartered accountant can share his fees only with another chartered accountant in practice, or another member of the institute, or a partner, or a retired partner, or a legal representative of the deceased partner. That means the person shall be directly or indirectly a legal representative of a chartered accountant. But in 2006, they added few words that I have given in the different color. Or a member of any other professional body or with such other person having such qualification as may be prescribed. So the real gate of MDP is opened in August 2006. A chartered accountant in practice, without entering into a partnership, he can share his fees with the members of any other professional body or a person of the prescribed qualification as may be prescribed where it is prescribed in our regulation. This is the opening up originally taken place in 2006. That means I can share my fees. Whether I can accept share from the fees, second amendment came, regulation clause 3, part 1 of schedule 1. Generally agrees or accept, he cannot accept, but nothing contained shall construed as a prohibiting with profession of other person having qualification as may be referred in item 2 of class 1. Not only I can share fees, I can also accept share of fees from the prescribed qualification people. Prescribed professionally qualified members of the institution. Without entering into a partnership, I can give share and take share. These two things came. The third amendment came in 2006, with whom a chartered accountant entered into a partnership. A chartered accountant can enter into a partnership either inside India or outside India with any person other than a chartered accountant. He should not enter into a partnership. but he can enter such other person who is the member of any other professional body having such qualification as may be prescribed. So three vital amendments came in 2006. I can enter into a partnership under clause 4, or without entering into a partnership, I can give assignment, share the fees, or take assignment and take the share of the fees from the prescribed qualified people. These amendments taken place in 2006. When this amendment came, government prescribed who are the people. They inserted two regulations, 53A for sharing fees, not as a partner. That is either give share or take share. Clause 3 and 2 having a word members of prescribed body or members having prescribed qualification. Who are the members of prescribed body? Member of the Institute of Company Secretaries of India, members of Institute of Caste and Work Accounts of India, members of Bar Council of India under the Advocates Act, Indian Institute of Architects, Indian Institute of Actuaries. These institution members, either you can take share or you can give share. Regulation 53A not for forming partnership. Keeping this professional outside your organization, either you can take share or give share. But that clause is having two set of people, member of a professional body or persons of having such a qualification. Who are the persons of having such a qualification? That separately given in 53A sub clause 3. Company secretary, cost accountant, actuary, very, very interesting word. Bachelor of engineering from any university or institution recognized by law, or bachelor in technology from a university or institution recognized by law, bachelor in architecture from university established by law, bachelor in law. He may not be a advocate registered under Bar Council Act, just having a qualification of LLB degree, bachelor in law. So you can give share, take share, not necessarily to an advocate. Even a legally qualified person, you can give share and take share. MBAs, Master in Business Administration of approved universities or approved technical institutions by All India Council of Technical Education. With these people, without entering into a partnership, I can take assignment, take a share of fees, or I can give him an assignment, share my fees. Both can. So this is already there. No prohibition since 2008, because this notification came in November 2008. Amendment came in August 2006. But this amendment came in November 2008. In addition to that, for clause 4, they inserted a regulation 53B for forming a partnership. This member of a bar council who is an advocate, then as an engineer from a university established by law, architect of the Indian Institute of Architect, actuary. Dear member, you are here, you see, MBAs are not there. For sharing the fees outside the firm, exclusive MBAs are there. But entering into a partnership, MBAs are not there in the list. Why, sir, you don't ask me? It is the question to be asked in the House of Parliament, not here. What is there, I am explaining. So, sir, but I want an MBA in my MDP firm. Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. Appropriate time I will explain, not now. Appropriate time I will explain. So these amendment came. Amendment in clause 2, clause 3, clause 4. Amendment came in 2006. Notification for that amendment prescribed was notified in 2008. Some chartered accountancy firm applied for MDP firm in 2009. Institute sent a refusal letter stating that there is in every law, scope of the law will be there. For chartered accountant in practice, scope of the law is section 2.2. And professional ethics law is schedule 1 and 2. So institute replied, government amended only for professional ethics class law, but government not amended the scope of law of practice by a partnership firm. Unless it is amended, we can't encourage or register any MDP firm. So even though the gate is open, the gate is fully open for sharing the fees either from the CA firm to outsider or the outsider to the CA firm, both having prescribed qualification. But entering into a partnership, institute said the main scope of section 2.2 is not amended. But here I would like to share one important information for my members. These amendments not only came in Chartered Accountants Act, same time, point of time, same thing, how now amendment bill for CA Act, Cost Accountants Act and Companies Act is coming. That time also, similar amendments taken place in other sister institute act, Cost Accountant Act and Company Secretaries Act. But what happened in section 2, the amendment is not there. Then institute has returned to the ministry. Ministry brought the amendment in section 2.2. The lines, what is written in a different color, red color, that portion of the 2.5 lines came only in 2012, 1st of February. Why institute refused to register a MDP firm? Formation of MDP firm. Even though class 4 is amended in our professional ethics, institute said, only for professional ethics you are permitted. But right to practice and right to have a firm is only in section 2. That is not amended. What is section 2 says? A member of the institute shall be deemed to be in practice when individually or in partnership with the chartered accountant in practice. This is the law. The balance 2.5 line is not there in the act. Those lines came only in by Chartered Accountants Amendment Act 2011 with effect from 1 to 2012. What are words? Or in partnership with members of such other recognized profession as may be prescribed, or in partnership with members of such other recognized profession as may be prescribed, right to practice. Then it is a firm deemed to be in practice. This amendment came in 2012. Immediately after this amendment, some chartered accountancy firm, okay, you said that the amendment is not there for MDP firm practice. Now this amendment came, register our firm. Institute written a letter. I cannot register for 2 reasons. Reason number 1, to implement this law, Government has to amend its form with form for amendment, form for accepting this form 18. Secondly, in 2012, Companies Act 1956 is there. In Companies Act 1956, where a firm of chartered accountants is the statutory auditor of a company, all the partners shall be entitled to practice in India as a chartered accountant. All the partners. So if I registered an MDP firm, you cannot take any statutory audit. Secondly, the form for registration is not there. This is the clarification given by the institute and written to the ministry. You amended the Chartered Accountants Act, but you have to notify the form, but your Companies Act does not give power to have a Chartered Accountancy MDP firm because you want all the partners shall be Chartered Accountants. New Companies Act 2014 came. New Partnership Act 2000, New Companies Act 2013 came. New Companies Act 2013 with effect from 2014, 1st April 2014. Section 141. In Section 141, who can be a statutory auditor, a chartered accountant practicing individually or a firm of chartered accountant, majority of the partners. Older law, 1956 law, all the partners. New law, majority of the partners. Majority of the partners shall be chartered accountant, entitled to practice in India. So the bottleneck is open. Then the last bottleneck, the amendment to the Form 18, that also opened in 8th July 2021. Now the gate is open. First important point I want to clarify. This is what is the first major question. Sir, whether the MDP firm has to be registered with all the professional institutions? Because as on date, as per the law, Chartered Accountants Regulation 53B, a chartered accountant can enter into an MDP with 6 category of people. That what we have seen. Regulation 53B, if you go, you can enter into a partnership with 53B, company secretary, cost accountant, advocate, bar counsel, and engineer from a recognized authority, architect from Indian Institute of Architect, actually. This 6 category is permitted. But what happened? Very, very important. This amendment, our opening up of MDP came in July 2021. I don't know how many of you read the new ethical standards notified by the institute, which came into effect from 1st July 2020. If you go and see the ethical standard 1st July 2020, in that it is very clearly given, we are permitting to register the MDP firms under Regulation 53B, provided not only my law permits, the other organizational law, that is cost accountancy law, company secretaries act and regulation, engineers regulations, or architect regulation, actuary law and regulation, advocate act and their rules. If reciprocally they permit, then we are also permitting. There only our work started to prepare the guideline. As per our regulation, we are permitting company secretary as the first category of person. So we have gone through the Company Secretaries Act. How in our act, the law is there in section 2.2, a chartered accountant can enter into a partnership with members of other prescribed body. In Company Secretaries Institute Act also, Company Secretaries Act also, A company secretary can enter into a partnership with members of such other recognized profession. How our professional ethics class 4 of part 1 of schedule 1 says it is not liable for any disciplinary proceeding with the members of prescribed qualification if he enters. Similar thing is there in company secretary's regulation also. He shall not be a person of guilty if he can enter into a person who is a member of any other professional body such a qualification as may be prescribed. Practically, if you go and see Chartered Accountants Act, Cost Accountants Act, Company Secretaries Act, Actuaries Act, almost copy and paste. Copy and paste. So, Company Secretaries Act permits a company secretary to enter into a partnership with the Chartered Accountant. Company Secretary Professional Ethics also permit. Company Secretary Regulation 168B also permit. They can enter into a partnership with another chartered accountant. So Act permit, Professional Ethics permit, Regulation permit. This is my 39th meeting after the introduction of this law. I am speaking in 39th meeting. One question has been asked, sir, recently the Company Secretary Institute and Cost Accountancy Institute issued an advisory. Ministry of Corporate Affairs asked our opinion about those advisory. Whether this MDP firm is required to be registered with all the 3 professional institutions. We said MDP is not only for these 3 professional body, other 3 bodies are there, advocate is there, actuary is there, architect is there, engineers are there. And nowhere in the law it prescribed that it has to be registered with all the institutions. It can be registered with any one of the institutions where it is required. So if a company secretary want to join partnership with a chartered accountant, and the company secretary and the chartered accountant mutually agree, company secretary and the chartered accountant mutually agree to register their firm only with the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, no problem today. But if they mutually agreed it has to be registered not with the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, let us register with Company Secretary of India, unless their form for registration is amended, as on date they cannot register. But they can register with ICAI, no problem. So Institute has said, my act permit, Company Secretary Act permit, my regulation permit, Company Secretary regulation permit, my professional ethics permit, their professional ethics permit. So we are permitting a chartered accountant can enter into a partnership with a company secretary. Both of them mutually agree to register with ICAI. We are welcoming them. It is a rule accepted by, guideline accepted by ICAI. Then we verified the Cost Accountants Act. How Chartered Accountants Act Section 2 Cost Accountant Act. In Cost and Work Accountants Act also, similar amendment was brought in 2012. A cost accountant can enter into a partnership with members of such other recognized profession. So, ICAI Act permits, Cost Accountant Act permit. Their professional ethics, Clause 4, Part 1, Schedule 1 to the Cost and Work Accountants Act. They can be a partner with such other person who is member of any other professional body having such a qualification as may be prescribed. So my act, their act is similar. My professional ethics, their professional ethics is similar. My regulation, what their regulation. Their regulation 111C, which is very clear. Yes, the regulation number is 111C. It is very, very clear. A cost accountant can enter into a partnership with the members of Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. So a cost accountant want to enter into a partnership with a member of Chartered Accountants of India. And both of them mutually agree to register with ICAI. Or a chartered accountant, company secretary, cost accountant, 3 individuals mutually agree to form an MDP firm, register with ICAI instead of Chartered Accountants of India. No problem at all, legally no problem. No violation of any guideline, no violation of any ethics under all the 3 laws. ICAI said we are welcoming this type of organization. We amended our Form 18. Anybody want? If you mutually agree, that's what I said. As said by the branch chairman, Nagpur branch, I only said, sir, how it can be formed? Understanding between the human, ICAI is not the intermediary. Institute of Chartered Accountants of India or Cost Accountants of India or Company Secretary of India, we are not intermediary for your relationship. If you mutually agree on your own terms and conditions, which is legally permissible, to do anything permitted under these 3 laws by the respective partners, we are welcoming you to do by forming a partnership firm or LLP. Partnership with advocate. Partnership with advocate. My regulation 53B permit a partnership with advocate. But what the advocate rule says, the Bar Council of India rules prohibits advocate shall not enter into a partnership of any other arrangement for sharing remuneration with any person or legal practitioner who is not an advocate. That's the reason our professional ethics said, I can enter into an MDP with a professional as permitted in 53B, provided their regulation also or act also permits. Here section 50, regulation 53B with the Chartered Accountants Act permits. I can enter into a partnership with advocate, but their act and rules or their rules not permit. Keeping this point, somebody asked me, reading this point, sir, advocate shall not enter into a partnership of any other arrangement for sharing remuneration with any person or legal practitioner not in big. But you said under regulation 53A we can share the fees. Without entering into a partnership, can I share the fees with an advocate? Yes. Because advocate rules today prohibit entering into a partnership of any other arrangement for sharing remuneration. Without entering into a partnership sharing remuneration, it is not said. Secondly, going by the words, partnership under Partnership Act means it is an agreement or arrangement between 2 persons. So partnership need not necessarily be by a registered partnership deed, written partnership. Even oral partnership is permitted under Partnership Act arrangement. So prohibition is only for entering into a partnership. Without entering into a partnership, keeping an advocate in your office, giving a separate room, you are giving work assignment to him, he is giving work assignment to you, giving fees and sharing fees, coming under class 2 or class 3, regulation 53A permits, no prohibition for you. But you cannot enter into a partnership under regulation 53B, even though our act permits, their bar council will not permit. So we are not permitting as per professional ethics. Partnership with engineers. If you read with the word engineers, they are very, very clear. They are very clear. Members of any engineers of any qualification with a recognized body. Not only universities giving engineering degree, IIT is giving engineering degrees. There is an institution called Indian Institute of Engineers. Institution called Indian Institute of Engineers. You could have seen in advertisement or in Mumbai also or Nagpur also. Even in Delhi, their office is next to our building in ITO. Their headquarters is in Kolkata. It is the oldest body than CA Institute. Our institute formed in 1949, they are formed in 1935. They are governed by a separate law called Charter of Engineers, permitted those days as per the Charter of England. Till the qualification is there in the institute, their degree is called AMIE, Associated Member of Indian Institute of Engineers, Fellow Member of Indian Institute of Engineers. Toughest course like CA in engineering. I do not go into the course. When we gone through their law, it permits. It is silent. That means the law is very silent. Means law permits. There is no express or implied prohibition. Or other engineers who is a member of a qualified university, central university or state university or any other university recognized by the UGC. So, no problem. We can take an engineer as a partner. The fifth category permitted is architect. Originally, the Architect Act is 1972, but Indian Institute of Architects is formed in 1860 under the Society Registration Act. Their bylaw says member means honorary member, fellow member, associate member, licensed member, retired fellow member, everybody it covers. Their law does not prohibit with whom you can enter partnership, with whom you should not enter partnership. ICAI said law is silent. Benefit of doubt only to the user of the law. So our law permits, their law not prohibits. So ICAI said they can enter into a partnership with architect. The sixth category of person permitted is actuary. Actuary means the actuary as defined under Actuary Act. I am not going into the definition. But actuary in practice means either a member practice as an actuary individually or in partnership with actuaries in practice as a member or an employee. We are having words, member of such other qualification as may be prescribed. Similar wording is not there. How Chartered Accountants Act, Cost Accountants Act, Company Secretaries Act, members of such other prescribed qualification. In Actuaries Act, similar wordings are not there. In their professional ethics, part 1, in their professional ethics, part 1, clause 3, it is not there. That means Actuaries Act not permits. They says you have to be an actuary. You can enter into a practice only with an actuary. And nowhere it prescribed you can enter into a partnership with prescribed qualification. So ICAI said very, very clearly, MDP in practice shall be permitted to partner the member of actuary, but not with a member holding certificate of practice. Because who can be a member? How Institute of Chartered Accountants of India says member means either holding certificate of practice or not holding certificate of practice. Similarly in actuary law. So any actuary holding certificate of practice with whom we cannot enter into a partnership because our act and regulation permits. But their act and regulation does not permit. When their act and regulation not permit, then we cannot permit them to enter into a partnership. Why? My professional ethics prohibits. So theoretically, as per books, as per the law on date, permit partnership with the 6 category of people: company secretary, cost accountant, advocate, engineer, architect, and actuary. But practically ICAI permits only with 4 category of people: company secretary, cost accountant, engineer, and architect. 2 people we have not permitted, advocate and actuary, because their law prohibits. Now it is very, very clear with whom we can enter into a partnership. In all the meetings, the first question asked to me, why not MBA not permitted? I said it is the I am following the law prescribed by the Act and notified under the Act, Parliament, regulation, Ministry of Corporate Affairs. When we returned to the Ministry of Corporate Affairs bringing MDP, Ministry of Corporate Affairs said only one thing. First allow as on date whatever you permitted. Then come to us where the prohibition there, where the removal of hurdles or speed breaker there, we will look into. Don't ask everything. Already we opened the law with our mind in 2006 and 2008. Even we brought an amendment in 2012 when the legal interpretation came, main section not amended. Even after 10 years, there is no opening up of the things taking place. First, what is permitted you allow. Then whatever you need, you make a representation. Somebody asked, why not MBA? Even though there is an express prohibition, MBA is not permitted, I can take an MBA as a partner. How can I take an as an MBA partner? Provided if he is an architect, come MBA, or engineer can MBA, or a lawyer come MBA, or cost accountant come MBA, and company secretary can an MBA, I can take him as a partner in the capacity of company secretary, or cost accountant, or engineer, or architect. In that capacity, I can take him as a partner. I can use his experience, expertise, knowledge of an MBA. I am not taking him as a partner because he is an MBA. I am taking him as a partner because he is an engineer. But he is having engineer with additional qualification. There is no express prohibition. He should not have any additional qualification. Suppose he is an IIT engineer with MBA marketing, IIT engineer with the MBA finance, IIT engineer with the MBA systems, or IIT engineer with the MBA HRA. I can admit him in the capacity of an engineer. Use his knowledge, expertise, experience as an MBA in his field. No prohibition in the law. This I can call it as how you are calling tax planning, financial planning, working capital planning. This is MDP planning. Now I will come for that. What way this is beneficial for our members? This is where the discussion started in the council. The council asked me as a convener, Mr. G.Sekar, you are telling, you are recommending, we can open it. Please explain how it is beneficial, going to benefit our small and medium practitioners. Then I presented a statistics before the council. We are having nearly 1,50,000 chartered accountants in practice. These 1,50,000 chartered accountants are practicing in the form of 88,000 firms. As on date, how many firms are there? Approximately 88,000 odd firms are there. Out of 88,000 and odd firms, 62,000 firms are proprietary. Dear members, out of 88,000 firms, 62,000 firms are proprietary, individual in practice. That means out of 1,50,000 chartered accountant, 40% of the chartered accountants are practicing as an individual. Out of 88,000 firms in practice, 75% of the firms are proprietary organization. Next. There are 23,000 partnership firms in this country, only with 2 to 5 partners. It means only 3,000 firms are having, more than 5 partners. More than 5 partners. I provided one more statistics to the government. council. Even today, as per the MCA record notified, around 16 lakhs companies are there in this country. How many companies? 16 lakhs companies. Less than 7,200 companies are listed. Where is 16 lakhs? Where is 7,200? That means less than 5% of the total companies are only listed. Not even 5, 16 lakhs, 10% is 1 lakh 60, not even 16,000. 0.5%, not less than 5%, less than 0.5% of the firms or companies are only listed. Okay, 16 lakhs companies are there. I am having a report called CARO, Companies Audit Report Order, applicable for companies whose net worth is above 1 crore. How many companies are there? Only 2 lakhs companies are there, net worth above. That means 14 lakhs companies are small, very, very small companies whose net worth is below 1 crore. So I explained to the council. First, I will explain how it is LP, a proprietary organization, proprietary chartered accountant. Think of a proprietary chartered accountant. Today we are permitting 4 category of people. Who are the 4 category of people you are permitting other than chartered accountant? Company secretary, cost accountant, architect, engineer. Let me presume a chartered accountant entering into a partnership, an individual chartered accountant. An individual chartered accountant entering into a partnership with a company secretary, cost accountant, and an engineer. 4 partners. 4 partners. Suppose the practicing chartered accountant practicing only as a partner, only as a chartered accountant, individual. He can do only chartered accountancy function permitted under our Chartered Accountants Act. Suppose he enter into a partnership with other 3 category of people, company secretary, cost accountant, and an engineer. Let us evaluate his professional loss and gain account. What is the professional loss? What is the professional gain? First, we will analyze the loss. The firm is an MDP firm registered with the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. The firm consists of 4 partners. One is the chartered accountant, another is a company secretary, another is a cost accountant, another is an engineer. Under section 141 of the Companies Act, in case of a company, the statutory auditor is a partnership firm, majority of the partners. Majority means both in terms of number as well as share. That's what ICAI defined. Majority means both in terms of share as well as number of partners. Here number of partner is only 1 chartered accountant. That means this firm is not permitted to do statutory audit of company. What is the firm loss? 20 company statutory audit loss. They can't do 70 company statutory audit loss. But what is the gain? What is the gain? The firm is having a cost auditor. First, the firm having a chartered accountant, the firm can do internal audit, concurrent audit. The firm can do cooperative society audit, tax audit, because there is no prohibition in those laws. Those laws nowhere said the majority shall be the chartered accountant in practice from the firm. But who can sign? Only a chartered accountant can sign. Why is that? Because in an MDP firm, the partner can do the function what is permitted under their act and regulation. If it is an audit of financial statement, cost audit, cost accountant or company secretary or engineer cannot sign, but the chartered accountant partner can sign. So other than company audit, all other audits they can do. All other attestation, certification function they can do. So only loss is statutory audit of 20 companies. Gain. Similar to chartered accountant firm, nowhere there is a prohibition for secretarial audit. If you read secretarial audit section, there is no prohibition that majority of the partners shall be secretary. For cost audit, though were mentioned in the Companies Act, majority of the partners shall be the cost auditor. It is not there in Companies Act. It is not there in secretarial audit section of the company. So that firm through its secretary do secretarial audit. The firm can do through their cost auditor, cost audit. In addition to that, there is an engineer there. Suppose that engineer is an architect knowledge or being an architect engineer, having an approved valuation certificate both under income tax law, under company law, everything. The chartered accountant can do the valuation function for financial instrument, the engineer can do valuation for other assets. If the engineer can do valuation for all other movable and immovable properties, in this country, every loan or any loan renewable which is given as a security, which consists of immovable property, engineer service is required. I am talking about architect engineer. Somebody asked me, sir, whether I can take a system engineer. Any engineer, nowhere we have a prohibition. You can take a system engineer, you can take a SAP engineer. There is no prohibition. You can take an engineer with the MBA finance, MBA HR. You can do payroll system, you can do recruitment system, but that partner can do, you cannot. There is no prohibition. Only thing as a proprietor, you are not a majority, you cannot do statutory audit. All other benefit. That means in a small town or small place, a client can enter into a chartered accountant office. There a chartered accountant with specialization in finance accounts and financial audit is there. He can advise, but he can't do, maybe not do statutory audit of a company, but he can do tax audit on other services. A cost accountant there to help him for his costing requirement. A company secretary is there to help him for secretarial requirement. An engineer is there for him to help for on all necessary engineering matters where they can provide service. Because we classified, we analyzed. Even it is helpful for the proprietary organization. Provided the success depends upon your understanding, not upon my law, what I am bringing. Success of anything depends upon the human understanding. No success never depends upon the law. Success always depends upon the human understanding and supporting the implementation of law. Second category of people we analyze. Suppose the firm, we are having 2 to 5 partners. Let us take 5 partners firm. And you manage to keep number of chartered accountant more, one chartered accountant more than other professionals. And you are taking one cost accountant, one company secretary, one engineer, and one architect. 5 chartered accountant, 4 these people. You can take statutory audit. You can take cost audit, secretarial audit, all other necessary works. Another interesting point. As a chartered accountant, you are doing listing company audit wherever you have to retire by a rotation. There is no retiring by rotation for cost auditors. There is no prohibition. Chartered accountant cannot be both statutory auditor and cost auditor. You cannot take both the audit. But whenever statutory audit ends, you can take cost audit. There is no prohibition. There is no prohibition that secretarial auditor shall not be a cost auditor, secretarial auditor shall not be a statutory auditor. That prohibition is not there. You can do parallelly secretarial audit. Sir, we are doing tax planning, financial planning, GST planning, import planning, export planning, foreign exchange management planning, every planning. Use your intelligence. Let us use our intelligence. How effectively we can use this amendment of law for our beneficial of growth of our own organization. People are asking how much is successful. How it will be successful? I can only bring a law, make it successful in whose hands? Previously, I prohibited you cannot do this. Now I'm telling you want you do this. How to do this? It is in our hands, not in ICAI hands. So it is beneficial for small and medium practitioners. Large scale firm, really it is more beneficial. But whether it is support the small, because when we thought majority is proprietary organization, majority of the firms are less than 5 partners, only 3,000 firms are having more than 5 partners. In this country, more than 20 partners firm with the LLP is less than 100. Everything we analyze, evaluated, whether I am opening this, it will going to support a person. Really, it is going to support a society. Really, it is going to support an MSME. Really, it is going to support an startup companies or startup businesses. All service at one roof like a departmental store. How entering Amazon, whatever we want, we are trying to get it. They can enter into a MDP chartered accountants firm who are well organized with all these services, they can provide. Even you can tell your client, I am having 2 engineers, one is an architect, another is a technical software engineer. You want to establish a factory, we can give design, we can implement turnkey project. Our cost auditor will help you to define your cost, determine the price of your goods. My secretarial person will give all secretarial service. My engineering partner with the HR regulation will help you to regulate your HR necessities. Everything, whatever you want, one roof, we can provide. No prohibition. One of the meetings, somebody asked, sir, to do all these things, why I have to come under chartered accountants? Sir, why not I form a private limited company with them? I do no prohibition for me. I can be a director. I cannot be a managing director, whole-time director or full-time director. I can be that. See, that is your choice. But you can't do that. Statutory audit. You want to do the statutory audit of your company, cost audit of your company, secretarial audit of your company, fulfilling all regulation, then this is only the route. You don't want all these things, but you provide all the other services. I don't want any attestation function. I want to do only consultancy function. That is your choice. No prohibition. What do you like? You have to choose. We have to choose. You cannot tell the ICAI what I can choose. ICAI is a regulatory body, not a marketing recommendation body. So, really beneficial for SMPs. But people in social media, when the law is introduced, no, it is for only big firms, all the small firms going to go, company secretary going to come and sign tax audit report, cost accountant going to come and sign tax audit report because of MDP, we are losing importance. Who said? Very, very clear. Even I take a company secretary, he cannot sign a financial statement because under the law of the country, under the law of this country, only chartered accountant can file a financial statements. In one of the branches of WRC, one of the study circles of the WRC in Mumbai, when I discussed this topic, somebody raised the question, sir, how you are talking, sir, cost accountants are permitted to do cooperative society audit. Cost accountants are permitted to do GST audit. Government is bringing the law. I asked only one question. Anybody sign any cost account? It is not, I am not against any profession. Somebody asked the question, me as a council member, I have to answer him legally what is correct. I asked only simple question. Which act permits cost accountant to sign GST audit? GST law. Okay. Which act permits cost accountant to sign a cooperative audit? Cooperative act permit. GST law permit. Okay, let it permit. Let it permit. Have you having record of any cost accountant signed this statement? Yes. Have you filed any disciplinary complaint against the cost accountant? Their own law not permit. Their section 2.2 does not permit. And they are having a professional ethics and regulation. If they function anything contrary to the provisions of their own act, how ICAI law is having, chartered accountant law is having, similar provisions are there. Or we filed any complaint, or you filed any disciplinary proceeding against them. We have not done it. So they are happy. No chartered accountant went and done it. You filed thousands of petitions with the ICAI Institute that saying that, sorry, then they will go to the Ministry of Law. Let them bring, that time we will object. This is a power given to us only to sign the chartered accountants, financial statements. Cost accountants are permitted to sign only cost accounts. Go and read section 2.2 of the respective law. I don't want to create dispute among the firms, about professionals. But whether legally permissible or not, if you are asking an opinion, as on date, they are having no legal power. Even the, how, very interesting thing. Class 4 is opened in 2006, read with 2008 notification. But it has taken 2020, almost 14 years. Why? Professional ethics class permit, but parent section not permit. Parent forms not permit. So many things. Like that, GST Act may permit, Cooperative Society Act may permit, but their Parent Act does not permit. Without the Parent Act permission, if they are not doing, if they are doing an assignment and doing their job, means it is not so correct. Okay, I am not going on that. Let me come to the MDPs. So whether I can do any other professional, sorry, what is the professional permitted under regulation 53B only permitted? Even what is permitted under regulation 53B, council said, with advocate you can't do, with actuaries you can't do because their law prohibits. Okay. How it shall be constituted MDP firm? Like a normal partnership firm, either as a partnership firm registered under Partnership Act or an LLP registered under the LLP Act, you can form. That is, sir, how, sir? Sir, it is an understanding between you individual. Partnership is what? Two or more persons joined together, mutually agreed. It is what is your mutual agreement that you have to decide. You are asking ICAI, how can ICAI tell? Somebody is asking me, sir, can you give me a draft partnership deed for MDP? I said, what is the question you are asking? Partnership is basically a mutual understanding and agreement. As a chartered accountant, do's and don'ts under your act, you know, under cost accountant, you are admitting a cost accountant as your partner, or company secretaries as a partner, or engineer as a partner, or architect as a partner. Their do's and don'ts under their law, you have to know. There also should know. Then you mutually agree. Everything don't ask external. You are a professional. So many things we are not asking externally. So that is your choice. Second, registration with the institute. Already existing firm want to convert it in MDP, no problem. Only you have to file Form 18. But today Form 18 is not available. For MDP form, the amended form is not available in our portal. So institute has given permission to file the form, new Form 18 in a physical form mode. Take the printout, fill up the form, send physical. Our portal is not yet updated. And suppose you want a new MDP form, then you have to apply for name clearance as per normal regulation in Form 1 and 7. And then subsequently you can register Form 18. Somebody asked me the question, sir, whether I can have a normal chartered accountancy firm separately, MDP firm separately. No prohibition. But when you are declaring for your MEF purposes or your C&AG purposes, both the firm you have to declare. Somebody asked me, sir, and in a normal firm, I want to take all my statutory audit and other thing. In an MDP firm, I can do. That is your choice. See, how to do your profession legally within the four corners of law, within the framework of law, with the regulations and the act. As long as it is fit within our act, as long as it is fit within our regulation, no prohibition. Today also, so many people are having partner in 3-4 firms. Like that, it is permitted, no prohibition. Then, in case in the MDP firm, cost accountant is a partner, company secretary is a partner, engineer is partner, other qualified professionals are partner. Their KYC norm, what is the KYC norm? There, know your professional concept. Their degree certificate or membership certificate or qualification certificate copies, all shall be attested by a chartered accountant. Here only Cost Accountant Institute raised the objection. Why it is to be certified by only a chartered accountant? Why not cost accountant? In what way we are inferior? ICAI treat cost accountant as inferior. It is not permissible. Ministry of Corporate Affairs should not permit. Objection. MCA asked us a question. Why you are telling it is only by a chartered accountant? Why not other professional? We have written in a very most humble manner. We are not having any superiority complex, or we have never considered other professional institutions are inferior to us. All are operational convenience. When the whole government working on the concept of ease of doing business, ease of carrying profession, this firm, if they are going to register with the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, the certifying authority, the document certifying authority of a cost accountant or company secretary is a chartered accountant. From my own institute records, I can easily verify whether the certifying chartered accountant is a qualified person eligible to certify. If it is certified by a cost accountant or company secretary, for every firm I have to register, I have to write to the respective institute not only to verify the KYC of other person, even the KYC of certifying person. Minister said, absolutely, the thought process made by the Institute of Chartered Accountants is correct. The objection of ICAI Institute and its president is overruled. So now, as on date, the rule is, if the firm is going to be registered with ICAI, the document you are furnishing for qualification, membership, degree, everything, the document shall be attested by a chartered accountant in practice, who is not the partner of the firm. Who is not the partner of the firm. That is most important. Verification. The truth and validity of the certificate of membership of the prescribed personal degree or recognized universities, it is your responsibility how to verify. Partnership of a chartered accountant by in practice. Then, meaning of MDP CA in practice. Which may take place in cost accountancy law or company secretary law, there they are going to register. Then it may be called MDP firm of cost accountants or MDP firm of company secretary. Which institute? Why we are using MDP firm of chartered accountant? For the outside society to know. This is a multidisciplinary partnership firm, consists of not only chartered accountants, other prescribed professionals also, but this firm is registered with ICAI, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Immediately doubt arise, sir, whether a cost already clarified, right? But once again, I'll repeat, sir, whether a cost accountant partner can sign a balance sheet or tax audit report? No, no, no. In a MDP firm also, which partner under their law permitted to certify those documents only they can certify. He may be a partner. See, there are two twin responsibility. Partnership may be joint and several responsibility, but that responsibilities you can carry on the profession, but attestation function, who is permitted? Cost accountant can help you in your tax audit. Company secretary can help you in your tax audit. Or company secretary and cost accountant can help you in your statutory audit. No problem. But signing your responsibility, you will sign so and co, MDP firm of chartered accountant partner. Sir, whether UDN number will come? Yes, UDN number. There is no change in nothing. Only thing, you can have more people. That is the only thing, permissible professionals. Services rendered by, what the law says. What are the services permitted under chartered accountant regulation? In addition to that, MDP CAs in practice can also render services allowed to be performed by other professionals who are its partners under their laws. That is most important. Whatever permitted for other partners under their law, that also they can do it. There is no prohibition on that. This point I already explained. Company law is having majority as a partner. How to determine majority? Institute analyze the point this elaboratively. Whether majority can be determined by numbers or percentage of share. When this point comes for discussion, practically if you ask me, the council divided into three. One group of council members said only by numbers. Another group of council members says we can go by share. Third set of council members say no, it is not by member, it is not by share, both. Then we thread-bearing analyzed with the Partnership Act and to avoid conflict, future conflict and everything. Ultimately, council come to an unanimous decision because partnership form is joint and several liability. And partnership form, we are not having like company voting right as a percentage of share, number of shareholding, not as a percentage of share in profit we are having. So we said very, very clearly, for the purpose of determining majority under section 141, both, this is very important, majority can be determined both for company appointment as auditor shall be calculated both on the basis of number of partners as well as their share in the firm. So majority criteria. That's the reason I told. If you are a proprietor, you are taking any other professional as your partner, you are losing majority, you can't do statutory audit, but all other audit you can do. Somebody asks, our MDP firm can register with it for MEF, bank branch audit, bank's central statutory audit. No problem, as long as you prove the majority condition. There is no prohibition. You will get more. Immediately somebody asks, sir, suppose I am an MDP firm, whether I will get more marks from the C&H. As on date, C&H rating is only on the basis of the normal chartered accountancy firm. But once the MDP firm registered, institute will represent these partners also. You have to give weightage. That is internal matter. It is no way connected with legal matter. How to evaluate? Sir, how much share I can give? How much powers, authority? All I said. See, it is not, ICAI is not your aid to do day-to-day operation, how you should have a good relationship with your partner, how much you can give share, what powers you can give, what power you can take. All are your individual understanding. Mutual understanding among the human being who are learned, highly learned professional of this country. So the functions, powers, authorities, duties, rights, responsibility, liability and dispute among the partners shall be mutually agreed as per your partnership deal. Somebody asked me, sir, how much I can share? Sir, Partnership Act nowhere said they have to give a percentage of share. Even if you are giving 100 rupees share, you can write. So and so admitted as a partner, he is entitled for this much of remuneration and entitled for a share of profit of rupees 1001 from the firm. He is also a partner. Nowhere they said you should define a percentage or proportion like that. Even a fixed sum. Even I given 1001, you can even give 1 rupee. Provided the person entering into this, into your organization, mentally willing to accept your condition. That's what I want to say. Everybody is asking, sir, how it is. See, it is a mutual acceptance. That is called perseverance, mutual acceptance. If the mutual acceptance is not there, where is the question of MDP? Somebody has to accept you as a leader. I will come prepared to work with you, along with you, and let us register with ICAI. It is purely understanding. That understanding among yourself we have to create, we have to create. For that, there is no role of ICAI. ICAI, if you fulfill all the conditions, ICAI will accept your form, register your form number in their records. Sir, suppose a new partner admitted, existing partner retired, died, what will happen? Like a normal firm, regulation 190 will apply. Within 30 days of change in constitution of your partnership, you have to inform. For normal application, there is no difference between MDP firm and a normal exclusive chartered accountant firm. What is applied for exclusive chartered accountant firm, MDP firm also apply as per the regulations. So you have to give form 18 for change. Then, sir, Chartered Accountants Act, we are having a condition, any branch shall be in charge of only by a chartered accountant. Yes, section 27. Where a chartered accountant practice or a firm of chartered accountant has more than one office in India, each one such office shall be in the separate charge of a member of the institute. Sir, in case of MDP firm, whether I can put an engineer as in charge, cost accountant in charge, company secretary as in charge? Possible. Because you read the provisional clause. Provided that the council may, in such suitable cases, exempt any chartered accountant in practice or firm of such a chartered accountant from the operation of this subsection. Council is having a power. There is no need to amend the law or go for anything. Council on its discussion on this point, they said, let us not have a floodgate open because we don't know how many firm is going to come, how many people want this type of things. Anybody return to the council, how we are permitting in other cases, we also permit in these cases also. Council may delegate this power to executive committee may do all these things. So, as on date, council is open. Who are coming with the application? Because council also want to know how many people want to have others as a branch in charge. They don't want to give you a blanket permission as on date because it is a new concept of law coming into operation. So that's a reason. But if you want a cost accountant or a company secretary, you can write to the institute quoting this law with a small white paper letter. Then council will permit. Because there is nowhere that they have to explain the reason. Exempt, I can exempt, having power to exempt. That a non-partner made in charge, they can write to the council. This is what I said very clearly. Sir, how the fees shall be determined, whatever applicable regulation 192 will apply. There is no problem at all. Whether I can carry on other business or occupation, whatever prohibited under chartered accountant regulation, automatically the prohibition will apply for this MDP form of chartered accountants. Sir, how to define professional address? Same thing, regulation 187. What is applicable for normal exclusive chartered accountants firm? Same thing will apply for MDP firm also. Sir, suppose in an MDP firm, how the disciplinary proceedings? If the chartered accountant committed, the person who committed in his function, there is a negligence on the chartered accountant partner, the proceeding will be taken by the ICAI. Suppose in that firm, the negligence is by a partner who is a cost accountant, the case will be referred to Cost Accountant Institute. If the negligence is by a partner who is a company secretary, then the matter will be referred to the Company Secretaries Institute. If the negligence is by any other architect, then they will refer to the architect. In case of engineer, there is no disciplinary authority for them exclusively. It will go to the city civil courts, general law, general civil law. If the partner violated his actuary, then disciplinary committee. As on date, we are not permitting any actuaries. But if the partner is an actuary, then it will refer to the Actuary Institute. Because they are having respective powers. Separate disciplinary body, separate disciplinary proceedings, that will only going to apply. So, with this, the normal procedure is over. Ultimately, if you see, it is a benefit brought by the ICAI That original thought process it started in earlier 2006, then step by step, first to professional ethics class amended, then regulation introduced, and the main section amended, form amended. Now everything is notified. Now I brought the horse near to the pond. Using the benefit of MDP or not using the benefit of MDP, how to use the benefit of MDP, all are in the discretion of the individual chartered accountants who is doing practice, or the members of chartered accountancy firm in the doing practice. How effectively is the biggest question. Somebody asked how many firms register. Only negligible number of application, to my opinion, as on date received. But anything coming new, it will have its own time to pick up. Because our chairman said, Modi ji view on 1st July 2017, larger firm comes. When a larger firm will come? Highest human tolerance. 200 people or 500 people in a big four, today we are calling it as big four, sitting and discussing on various issues related to the firm. Unless there is a highest understanding with the highest human tolerance and perseverance is not there, it will never happen. Two humans going together on any issue, there should be some mutual acceptance. How much mutual acceptance is there? That must be the size of the firm. Mutual acceptance is not there. How can you build the size of the firm? You cannot build. You want a big honeybee. That's what I want to tell. Learn the lesson from honeybees. Honeybees building its nest. Because all are working together, a beautiful honey nest is built. Huge honey is collected. You want the larger size of honey nest, and you want the larger benefit of more honey from the honey nest, more bees united together and work. Same thing applicable for human professionals like us. So, I thank the WRC chairman and the chairmen of the Nagpur branch and Chinchwad branch for giving this great opportunity. Any question from the members on any issue clarification? I am mentally prepared to answer all your questions. Thank you.
If anybody is having questions, I would like to request that they can put it in the chat box, where we can, even the speaker can look into it.
Any question in chat box?
If you have any questions, kindly type it. Sir, I think you have given a very detailed, actually, all the pros and cons and whatever should be done in such a detailed way that even I am little, what to ask and what not to ask. And that is what I feel that the attendees are also doing the same.
Unless you jump into the water, you don't know what is the problem inside the water.
Yeah, that is another question to be answered.
But always think one thing, as a new swimmer, you are jumping inside the water, some level of water will go into your mouth as well as nose. So initial teething problem will be there, mentally accept for that.
Correct. We as a chartered accountants are sometimes very reluctant to change, because we have our own set of style working. That is what I have understood over a period of time.
No, we are not only working in our own style. We always think like a Shirdi Sai Baba, why fear I am here. That attitude we created among the clients. All the problems of the society, we think that it is our problem. Today,
Yeah.
every chartered accountants are shouting in social media, what is how I am going to do it. You tell your client, mistake is I am not able to do in government side. Can I write a letter in your name to the government? We are not able to file the return. As if it is our problem. Due date of tax audit report is coming as if it is my problem. It is not my problem. Penalty is not for me, for him. You tell the client, I am mentally prepared. You come and sit next to me. The site is not working. I can only come. You want me to drive a car, you have to give me a car which is in drivable condition.
Correct.
Whose responsibility to give you a drivable condition? It is the driver's responsibility or the owner's responsibility? Owner is both the government and the client. But here the driver is shouting, we are chartered accountants only driving. No, income tax portal is not working. This portal, you keep silent. You keep silent. Don't give any report to the social media. Client comes, you tell, you write, or you give me your mail ID in your name, I will write. In my name, I will not write. Because it is not my problem. Medicine is for the patient or medicine is for the doctor. Here, doctor is crying for the patient disease. Doctor is worrying for the patient disease. Patient is the casualty. Doctor is worrying. No, deadline is coming. Deadline is coming. Who has to worry about the deadline? Who is liable for interest? Who is liable for penalty? Citizens of this country. Why, as a professional, you are worrying, you are shouting, and government is thinking these professionals are only creating problem. Keep silent. Next 10 days, I am requesting all the viewers from you, don't put any single message. Any clientele problem, tell, sir, this problem is there in your return. Through your official mail ID, I am going to write to the Samadhan scheme. Write all your problems in your mail, put at Income Tax Department Twitter, at Nirmala Sitharaman's office, finish. Let the government know how many citizens are giving complaint. You are giving CA so-and-so, CA so-and-so, this association so-and-so. Why? Citizen is having COVID or doctors are having COVID? But accountancy professionals, this is the problem with our professionals.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
We may be very big, broader heart and broader mind, but other person is not having, you should also know how to act.
Yes.
So, thank you, boss. Very thanks. Very nice
Yes,
of the.
yes, sir. We, on behalf of,
G.Sekar sir. G.Sekar
on
sir.
behalf of
Yeah.
WRC,
सर आपके चैट बॉक्स में 2 क्वेश्चन डाला सर.
Nagpur branch and from Pimpri-Chinchwad branch, sir, we would like to thank you from all of us here for your wonderful presentation on the topic of MDP. And the way, sir, you have explained, I think it leaves no question, and it has been seen that he has asked you any question.
Hello, Chandran sir. Hello, Chandran sir.
If we do not have any professional but want to incorporate MDP firm, can we do so that if anyone in future joins the firm, we can do so without changing the firm? Yes, even do it. But you can call, but if you want to call it as an MDP firm, at least one partner. But today you can have a normal exclusive chartered accountancy firm, same name continue. Only thing when you are presenting the new form 18, the second class we have to fill up.
हेलो स्टेकर सर.
Yes, tell me.
सर मिश्रा बोलो सर. 2 क्वेश्चन सर आपके चैट में सर डाल के रखा हूं सर, एक बार देख लेंगे प्लीज सर.
Yes, I am answer the first question. I am coming for the second question.
Okay,
if
sir.
one CA and one non-CA, will it be considered as a majority for statutory? I already told. Once it is a 1 CA, 2 CA and 1 non-CA, 1 cost accountant or company secretary, it is not considered as majority. Both in terms of numbers as well as percentage of share. 1 equal to 1. 1 cannot be more than 1. That's the reason I told you want statutory audit. Ensure that minimum one partner more than other professionals, as well as the percentage of shares shall be minimum some point percentage more than 50. This I already clarified. I think so both the questions are clarified by me.
So received a query about the Bar Council, the position of Bar Council as regards the MDP provisions.
Sir, I already very clearly said Bar Council Act prohibits, Bar Council rule prohibits, so we are not permitting any advocate as a partner. Today we are not permitting any advocate as a partner. You want an advocate in your support for your organization, do only one thing. Keep him outside your firm, take the benefit of regular clause 2 and clause 3. Share your fees, share your fees. You cannot admit him as a partner or because it is prohibited as per the Bar Council rules. Any other question?
No, sir.
So thank you all. Thank you for your very patient hearing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Once again, I would like to thank you, sir, for your wonderful presentation, and also the way, sir, you have explained. I think it leaves no, as already told by me, it leaves no question that any doubt in the mind that one should have any query on this particular topic, because you have gone into detail of each and every aspect, and you have tried to explain everything from all these sides, what it should be done and how it should be done, and with how we can, the way you said that uh, you quoted that how tax planning we do, or the GST tax planning we do, the same planning can be also done with by forming an MDP firm, sir. So we would like to thank you, sir, on behalf of WRC, as well as on behalf of Nagpur branch, and as well as from Pimpri Chinchwad branch, sir. We would heartily thank you, sir, for your valuable time and the knowledge and wisdom that you have shared with all of us. It is really a rememberable moment for all of us, because the way you have spoken, and with the voice that you had, and with the authority that you spoke, is really heartening, and one should look into the suggestions that you have given it to us. Thank you for all these suggestions and the way you have presented to us. I would also like to thank all the uh, branch staff of the WIRC, who has coordinated with all the activities for organizing this webinar, and also all the technical staff who has done successfully to ensure that these services of virtual has come to us uninterrupted and in a very smooth way. With this, I would like to thank all of you for your patient hearing and for joining us on this particular afternoon. Thank you to all. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you much.